and still was celebrating 42 years after Sinai liberation. Very delighted to be having with us live over the phone Mr. Abdul Latif Wahba, the journalist and the political and economic analyst. Good morning, Mr. Abdul Latif.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you doing? So, celebrating the 42nd anniversary of Sinai liberation, that was only a start for Egyptians. That was followed by a sequence of almost 522 developmental projects, successful projects that were implemented at that dear part of our heart of land, and affected a lot of successes that followed. If you like to elaborate.
Yeah, of course, as you know that during the last decades or the last 10 years, Egypt paid a great attention to Sinai, to its infrastructures and all the economic sectors there. Not only this, but at the same time, they provided Sinai and the people there with all services, even social, economic, and political, also political services to the people of Sinai. In the last period, at the same time, or the last 10 years, Egypt and President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi knew how to improve this area that connected Asia and also Africa at the same time. And as you know that we managed to deal with all the negligence that happened during the previous decades, especially as you know that there was no social or no developed infrastructures in this area, and the people were suffering from all the lackness of the social services and so on. But as you know that President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi directed the government and the cabinet and allocated billions of Egyptian pounds in all budgets and for Sinai. And also at the same time, as you know that Sinai in last decades, in the last decades, according to the Egyptian annual budget, has a great portion of money to develop all the sectors in Sinai. Firstly, as you know that we concentrated in reclamations of agri-land there. At the same time that they created and established many industries in Sinai, and also improved the social services, especially in education, in health, and the water, drinking waters, and also the health sectors at the same time. Not only this, but the government, in cooperation with the private sectors, established many or a new kind of education, especially primary and secondary schools, and the higher education in universities and so on. So the cabinet, the government, it changed completely the face of Sinai during this during the last 10 years. At the same time, as you know, that Egypt developed also the naval forces in Al Arish and others in Red Sea and so on, and created zones for tourism in South Sinai and the North Sinai at the same time. This is, of course, to attract the people, not only to give the people of Sinai, the traditional people of Sinai, a chance for work, but they made Sinai an attractive area for all the people in Egypt, and for the direct investments, especially from the Egyptians. And at the same time, if you remember, they amended some laws and procedures that give the people and give all the even the foreign and the Arab investors the right to invest in Sinai. This is, of course, important not only for the Egyptian people, not only for the Sinai people, but for the Egyptian national security at the same time.
Right. Mr. Abdul Latif, of course, as we all know, Sinai in its own right is a little bit special in the heart of Egyptians for many reasons. First of all, for its strategic importance, historical importance, also for its geographic importance. That would all, together with other reasons, would qualify Sinai to be one of the leading cities or one of the leading places to be distinguished touristically, commercially, culturally, you name it. How important is that particular concept?
Yeah, as you know that Sinai is hosting at the same time one of the most important international tourism projects there. That is, as we called it, the bath of the family of the secular family in Sinai. This is, of course, a great project attracting the foreign tourism or the foreign arrivals to the area. This is an important point at the same time, sir. And as you know that, as you mentioned, is Sinai as one of the historical and religious, and at the same time important for the Egyptian people. And as you know that when President Abdul al-Sisi directed the government to take actions, to take in many other different sectors, This is, of course, means that you have to implement all the map and its development, not only in one sector but all sectors. And at the same time, as you remember exactly when President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi launched there in China, launched the most important agriculture project to cultivate thousands of Vietnam in Sinai. This is, of course, to give the people of Sinai what they are deprived from it during many decades.
Right. Talking about the efforts of President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi, the head of the state, of course, we all have seen his impressive, very impressive speech that he gave on the 42nd anniversary, celebrating the 42nd anniversary. He talked about the historic importance of Sinai, and he also talked about the strategic importance. And that's what, according to his words, gave Sinai a specific, very critical situation, which is putting it under the eyes of people who wanted to take advantage. I mean, some entities, some powers, some countries who had it before their eyes targeted Sinai over the years and still are targeting Sinai to take advantage of all those privileges and to be able to make the best gain out of it. And said it's an eternal role for Egyptians to stand up protecting this dear part of our land, forever, and protected with their lives. If you'd like to elaborate over the president's speech.
Yeah, of course. You know that, let me say, to make a comparison between Sinai, if you didn't launch this huge plan to rehabilitate Sinai and the people and the borders at the same time, and you can compare it if just now after this development, it is a great difference between the two phases, and as we said, that Sinai is one of the main important points of the Egyptian national security. And you noticed that during the last times, the Israeli aggressions against the Gaza people and so on, we are, as President Fattah al-Sisi declared many times, that Sinai is a red line, for any for Israel, for the Gazan people, for any foreign attempt to disrupt the Egyptian national security. This is the main element just now. And as we mentioned before, that Sinai not only a national security for the Egyptian state, but it is a national security for the stability of the area, of this area in itself, in the east borders, especially as you know that we face many problems there, not only on Sinai but also in the south and the west and so on. So the development and the rehabilitating this area is element to face any trials to step in on the Egyptian national security.
Right. On that note, of course, Mr. Abdul Latif Wahba, the journalist and political and economic analyst, would like to thank you, sir, and you have a good day. And by this, we come to the end of the show. Many thanks to all of you. Until we see you again tomorrow morning, that's a goodbye.